Caleb Mitchell. Caleb from the Catholic Pipe Company is with us now. Caleb, how are you?
Excellent. Father Calvin, how you doing?
Very well. Thanks for coming on. Um, for people who don't know, you are the mastermind behind the Common Sense Crusade pipes. We obviously had the old one, which was limited edition, and you can no longer purchase it. But we also have the brand new Churchwarden, which you can see on the screen right there. We've just launched it as we speak. This very moment, we've just launched it in the Lotus Eaters store. So you're seeing right here a version of it on the Catholic Pipe Company, which is your company. So people in America and around the world can purchase it directly from you on Catholic Pipe Company. People in Britain can purchase it on lotuseaters.com in the UK store, and that would be shipped out by yours truly. Caleb, what got you into making pipes? Why do you do this?
Well, that's a simple question with a complicated answer.
Okay.
I think to properly answer that question, first I have to explain, what is a pipe? What is it for? Well,
Hmm.
a pipe really more than anything is a tool. It's a crutch even. Smoking a pipe is a contemplative act. It's a prayerful act. It forces you to slow down. It helps you to relax. So first and foremost, a pipe is a tool. So why do I smoke a pipe? Well, I am horrible at slowing down, relaxing, focusing, and even at prioritizing. So, a while back, I thought to myself after some different influences, maybe I should pick back up a pipe. I had smoked a pipe a few decades ago and forced myself to slow down because I have a tendency to work and work and work. That going back to putting the priorities in the wrong places. I'm a father with four children, and a little while back, I sat on my front porch. I broke out an old pipe, and I watched my children play in the front yard
Hmm.
for 45 minutes. And you know what didn't happen? I didn't die. It was amazing. I wasn't working. I was relaxing.
Yeah,
And, what could be better than watching the kids play around out in the front yard?
nothing.
So there's a gent from over across the pond over England way, Malcolm Geit. He writes poetry and he writes all kinds of stuff. He's an academic and he smokes Peterson pipes out of Dublin. And back when I had this resurgence of pipe smoking, I thought, man, I want one of those. I like those pipes that Malcolm smokes. Malcolm's neat. I want to be like Malcolm. And I quickly found out that they're a bit pricey, and I'm not made of money. So I started looking for used ones, and lo and behold, used ones or estate pipes are oftentimes more expensive than brand new ones. So, having a background as a craftsman, I thought, well, I'm sure I could integrate some of these Peterson technologies into a pipe and make one myself. And with the wrong tools and the wrong materials, I did make a small handful of them myself. And then I started to acquire the proper tools and the proper materials. And my daughter, who's brilliant, she said to me one day at the dinner table, she said, "Dad, why don't you use some of that fancy equipment out in your workshop and put a picture of the Last Supper on a pipe? You could make it like a really big pipe, and it could wrap the whole bowl." And it was just like the light bulb went off, but the light bulb was made out of like a nuclear bomb. Just all these ideas came just rushing into my head thanks to that little girl. And so I started making some Christian themed pipes, some saints and prayers and things on the pipes, and that helped double down on the contemplative act because not only is this being used to slow down, to gather my thoughts, but the theme behind these pipes were a specific scripture that I could contemplate on, or a specific prayer, or a specific saint. And people started buying them, and it just kind of blew up from there. We went public with the Catholic Pipe Company in April of 2024, and we went full time with it February 2025.
I love it because the scriptures teach us that the angels pray to God through incense, and we offer up that incense of prayer in the mass, obviously, with the incense around the altar, and there's something about smoking a pipe whilst you're being contemplative, whilst you're praying. For example, if you're praying the rosary while you're smoking a pipe, you are offering up that incense. It's almost It's almost to the degree of you're in your own personal little church. You've got your oratory there. And so your pipes in particular are Catholic themed. I'm a big fan of supporting Catholic industry. I think Christians should support other Christians rather than wasting our money on worldly enterprises. We should put it back into the kingdom. And so you've put crosses on there, you put saints on there. What's the most popular sort of pipe that you sell?
Well, the common sense Crusade pipe, obviously.
Okay.
No, actually, it's not. But actually, we make so many different shapes, colors, designs, and we really work in different facets of industry. So, a lot of the pipes that we sell, we just call like a commercial grade pipe. They're going to be more accessible to the everyman. They're going to range U.S. dollars, from the $50 range to the $200 range, and those are just kind of the everyday pipes. And the artwork, the shapes, the colors, and everything has just this wide array that we incorporate. On the upper end, there's the handmade pipes that I make personally, starting with just a block of wood. I don't know if I'm on the camera, but just a block
Oh,
of
yeah,
wood
yeah.
that it's shaped like a triangle or a semicircle or whatnot. And all the pipes that we make here and that we sell are made out of briar wood, which is the best wood that there is. So if I had to peg one as the most popular, I think for designs, Saint Benedict medals are probably the most popular design.
That's a very powerful prayer.
But
I would
absolutely,
I would have thought St. Michael, but I also think there's something great about this tradition. So my grandfather used to smoke a pipe. It's something that most Englishmen used to do, and it's something you don't see as much anymore. There is a resurgence of it, of course, through the trad movement, but that's whole part of it, isn't it? Like if we don't hold on to these traditions, quite literally, they will die out. And yeah, I see you're wearing your flat cap as well while you're doing it. This is the way to do it.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And as we step backwards, and hold on to these more traditional movements, you think about the benefits of traditional living and traditional lifestyles. And it's things as simple as growing a garden or sitting on a front porch. How much benefit can we reap from sitting down and slowing down and relaxing? And that goes back to the contemplative nature of pipe smoking itself. It's useful, it's beneficial, and why wouldn't we want to hold on to something like that?
I entirely agree. And if people want to join the club, by the way, I'm a member of the local pipe smoking club here in town in Grand Rapids. And we just go like we chill out, we smoke pipes together, have a chat about anything. Usually not politics, which is nice, and just zone out and exchange different tobaccos, whether it's English or it's aromatic, and it's something that is like you say, it's downtime. It's time out of the I have to be productive, I have to focus, I have to and part of that is, Cardinal Sarah wrote a book on this actually, on silence. Part of it is moving away from busyness. The old adage that the devil makes work for idle hands is silly because we spend our lifetime running away from the stillness and from the silence because that's where we hear the Lord. So take a few moments out of your day to pray. We should be doing that anyway, but take a few moments out of your day to reflect. And I think your starting message, spending 45 minutes just watching your kids run around being kids and you're sat there doing nothing but being a parent, being a father, and having a pipe.
Indeed,
It's
indeed.
unwinding. It's
But
fine.
it's not just busyness. Remember, it's the sign of the times is distraction.
Yes.
Everyone is so distracted with everything, and I mean it's just constant bombardment all day long. Our eyes, our ears, everything is so distracting. And to get back to reprioritizing and praying and just being in the moment that we're supposed to be in. I mean, that is ultimate goal, right? That's why people work so hard to retire.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't we embrace that type of lifestyle now where we actually, I can watch my kids growing up. I can I can take a moment and just reflect on the day or the gifts that God has given us or the challenges that I'm going through. It's beneficial all around.